Hello everyone, welcome back. And if you're new, thank you for ordering this beautiful flower. This is your first tutorial. I'm gonna show how to make the gorgeous Chrysanthemum Lili Gallon. It's a new flower, new templates, new techniques. So let's start. Can't wait to show you. I did prepare some, but not completely finished everything. Just for this. What I do, I choose, and if you have been following me or have seen my tutorials before or purchased one of my flower templates before, then you know that I love using soft pastels. You do not have to use them. If you do not wish, you can use anything you like to color yours. I'm sorry, I just have to move the camera a bit. And yeah, but I like using this one because it does give me the blending of colors like I want and make them look natural. Again, you do not have to do use. You can use ink pad, dyes, anything you have, or you would like to use. I've already prepared the mostly. I'm just gonna show the last one how I colored them, and I used this soft pastel purple, a lilac rather, and I'm just gonna color them like this. And the reason why I like this is because it's just fast, and when I have orders, then I can also accept orders with, and make flowers in bulks. I can create many pretty flowers in a very efficient way by using this. I just color both sides, and I will tell you why. It has pink. I'm using, as mentioned in the tutorial, the color, the paper Toffee or Clairefontaine, and I'm using pink and coloring with lilac. Now I'm just gonna get a white paintbrush, rub it out, and doing this as well. It doesn't, won't be messy. It will, but you can clean this, but your hands won't. Maybe just a little bit, but not as much when you're using. And this just easily comes off as well. Oh. And it gives a natural look. I'll just use my, and we'll add its own, create its own shades and light spot, dark spots. And because using brushes, you'll also have this kind of veins on the petals. So many advantages. But if you would like to try this too, I would recommend to look on Amazon and purchase something similar. But more price efficient, to try it out first, and if you like the effect, Obviously, you can use the Rembrandt, which is expensive, but I love that one. So, my Rembrandts are empty. I do have them, but I still save them just for orders. I do use this one for tutorials. And the expensive one, I save them for orders. For obvious reasons. I need to get wet wipes so I can show you how to clean, like I always do. Always handy. Clean my fingers. And this you can just put aside and let it dry. And voila. Clean. And you can start with a different color. I'm just going to prepare everything and let them dry. I would suggest you do that too. This is the sepal template. Oh, this is the wrong sepal template. And I need names because I did not color the sepal templates. But funny thing is, I was preparing the templates and I accidentally just used and prepared all leaves. So what I have to do now is to show them again. But then on the other side, I am sorry for this. This happens when you're in this mode, you know, making mode, bubble, and then you're not even thinking ahead. So, green. I just color the edges. I will show you in a bit. I know you can't see it. I will just coloring the edges. Without thinking, I'm just coloring them. I will do a close-up in a bit. And then you see? Use a wet paintbrush again. I have a bowl here with water where I can clean my brush. And you just smudge fade it. And the reason to prepare this, while you're assembling the flower, then this will be dry when it's ready to be used. I also see that I did not even prepare the wires. There you go. And then just, sorry for the sound. I can do this later too. From the mat, using my cake decoration. So I have two sorts. I'm gonna need to. I got this one, which is smaller. It's just a cake decorating tool, you know, sugar flour, actually. And I use it just for to emboss themes on my leaves. And this one is to shape the flower templates. I have different kinds. And you do not have to use this. You could also use bamboo skewer, but I'm just always scared that, oops, I'll ruin my paper. You just start at the top, press hard, and the paper will curl, and you will create veins on the leaves. So when you're using cardstock with a bit heavier paper, I suggest to press hard. You can't really see how hard I'm pressing in the video, but, and if it doesn't work the first time, try again. Well, as long as you have these curls. There you go. Fast, isn't it? To prepare and use. I'm gonna do the sepals anyways. Do the same thing with it. I like using light color. When I'm using light colored paper, I also use dark pastels. And when I use dark paper, I use light. And this is something is just, I don't know, anything. Just color anywhere. Just like that. See? And then I'll just do this a bit more so it will be darker, because this is for the bigger flower, and bigger flowers are always darker than the mini one. There you go. Oh, I put it away, but I actually need it. And it will just rub it out. Put it aside with the others. And, get back to it. Now I'm gonna take back the leaves, and this is the part that you have to pay attention to. Is we will be coloring. Here I have alcohol ink, or yeah, Ecolina. The back side of the flower, I always use a piece of carton to color mine, so nothing will get dirty. And I will do 2 layers. Always have a piece of tissue where I can put the thing on. Just like that. Dip it in. You don't have to be a painter for this, and you just color, and you will see that you can do 2 layers, which I am gonna do. And again, you do not have to do this. You can also use colored paper or anything you have. But that's one. That's one layer. I'm just gonna move it a bit. Just wait it to dry. And that's 2. Make it a bit darker. And this is just like whatever. You don't have to do the whole. You can also just, you know, stroke parts. So you will have dark parts, light spots, and create shadows this way. And you just let them dry. We're not done yet, so let's go back to the other side. But I'm done with this alcohol ink, so I'll just close it and put it aside. And there you go. I prepared. I've already prepared mine, so I can continue with making the flower. I have 2 templates offered them. We have a bud, which I'm not going to show because it will be shown while making the regular flower, how to make them. And to grow them. a small bud. I did not adjust anything here yet. I'm just gonna show that. I'm gonna make this flower video. Along the way, I just prepared it a bit, and we will be needing a styrofoam bowl. All measurements are in the tutorial, but I think this one is about 1 centimeter, and that's 1/4 of an inch. Now we're gonna prepare the bigger flower, and I will show you how to create the bud while making the bigger flower. No, the measurements are different, so but the assembling and preparing the templates is the same. So when you start with the first one, you do not have to color the inner side because you won't see it, because you will wrap it around. You will wrap it around the styrofoam bowl anyways. And I do have a tutorial of Queen of Sweden how to make, if you do not have these measurements anywhere, how to create your own bud, your own base with tin foil. So I do recommend watching that video too. Just enhance the hole in the center, and we'll just use this embossing tool. Nope, I'm sorry. Use this one first, the thin one. And the reason why this is handy using when making this flower is, I will show you. It's just better. It curls better, especially with small templates like this. And if you do not have this, I think I might have another solution, which I just have to find out now. Is to use the tip of a brush. Let's find out. It works. Maybe not the most efficient way, but it works. I will get a new pad for embossing because I like this one more in shaping. Let me see. Yeah. Just try out different brushes that you have. Don't make sure it's not too pointy that you will break the templates. It does work, but use a smaller one. Yeah, it does. It does. So, if you don't have these, I think you can buy it on Amazon and anything, anywhere. It's just a cake decorating tool. And you just curl. I am using lightweight. It's just 45 lb, so curling goes very, very easy. And when you're using cardstock, I do recommend to either make this wet or press really, really, really hard to make sure it curls. It needs to curl. The curling is very important when it comes making this flower. Make sure it curls so it doesn't stay flat or anything. And press hard. You can't see how hard I press, but press hard enough when using cardstock. That's why I don't use cardstock, but and there you go. It curled by itself. Okay. And can also just use, it just curls naturally. We'll open them. Prepare a wire. Which one is the big one? This one. What I do is I take a plier And then make a lasso. And bend them back. Or make a bit more curvy, like a fish hook. So lasso, fish hook. And you just attach it. And there you go. We're gonna use glue. You could put glue on the styrofoam bowl instead and oops, just rub it out with your fingers so it's everywhere. And that's just too much of glue. I could use it later again, so just put it on a tissue. Use wet wipes to clean my fingers. And we just attach the first one. I would suggest to also just curl the templates first. That's the easiest. And the reason why you have to curl it is just it just wraps around the wire, the bowl so perfectly. You don't need anything. You just add glue on places where it doesn't stick to make sure it does. There you go.